It's time to stop using the web search tool in Claude Code, especially for coding, because Claude reads a page's summary from a smaller model, which can often miss out key details like new features or updated API endpoints and could lead to incorrect code. But Firecrawl's Developer Index does a much better job because it doesn't give Claude a summary, but instead goes through GitHub issues, pull requests, readmes, and curated docs, and returns actual code and text straight to your agent. Let's go through how it works. And guys, if you like these type of videos, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Nowadays, most developers are using AI to help them write code, but an agent only knows as much about a tool or a framework based on its training cutoff. So if a class was renamed or a method has been removed, the agent won't know, and the usual fix is to search the web. But this is where things get a bit worse, not better, because of two things. The first being that web search wasn't built for code, it's a general web index, so it doesn't know about pull requests or updates to readmes, so a blog post about a breaking change could outrank the actual information about the change itself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a blog post is someone else's opinion about the change, which could miss out some key information. The second is that some agent tools summarize a page using a smaller model and return the summary to the main model. This is how Claude Code works, and again, for most cases this is fine, but in the case of code, it could miss out some key information in its summary. Firecrawl's Developer Index fixes these issues by indexing GitHub pull requests, GitHub issues, readmes from public repos, and also curated documentation pages. So when it's used to do a search, it returns all the relevant information from these sources, even if they contain code. No smaller model in the middle and no summary, which leads to better results, especially if you're working on an existing codebase. For example, here is a project I built in TypeScript and Rust to color grade my video footage. And the Rust part of the project uses an old version of WebGPU. So I've given Claude a prompt to check if this is the latest version and if there are any breaking changes in the versions that are above 24. I've also told it to use the web search tool since I have other tools and skills installed in my version of Claude Code. So with that, it's done a few searches and has given me this result, telling me that version 24 is well behind version 30 and that bumping up the version will fail to compile the program. From there, it's given me more information about what version breaks and why, and recommends to install 29.0.4 instead of version 30. And here is the same prompt using Firecrawl's Developer Index skill, and we can see it also tells me version 24 is behind and upgrading will fail to compile. But if we scroll down, it gives me more information about each version and how many errors they contain. We can see that if I upgrade to version 30, I'll have 10 different errors, which isn't good. But we can also see here, it gives me information about the errors as well as the pull requests that would introduce them. And then down here, instead of recommending me to go to 29.0.4, it recommends a mechanical migration process to help fix the 10 issues and get me to version 30, which to me indicates that it has more information on how to fix every single one of those issues and is confident that it can get me to version 30, whereas the Claude Code web search wasn't so confident. Let's go through another example. Here is a project I'm working on called Screenbox. Yes, I work on a lot of projects, which is what I'm using to draw rectangles in the video you're watching right now. So I've asked Claude Code to help me find performance issues with this project using the web search tool, and it managed to find some useful things. But as I scroll down, you'll notice it doesn't show the sources it got its information from, so I don't know where to go to find more information about the bug without doing more prompting. Whereas the exact same prompt using Firecrawl's Developer Index also gave me some useful performance improvements like this one, but if I scroll down, you can see it gives me the URL of exactly where it got the information from, as well as a snippet of the text from the page, and it's done this for every single one of the issues it's found. Now I'm using the Firecrawl Developer Index skill, which uses the Firecrawl CLI behind the scenes, so we can see the exact API call it made and the information it found. But the Developer Index also works with the Firecrawl MCP, language-specific SDKs by setting the categories to developer, and because this is using Firecrawl Search, it also works with keyless, meaning you don't have to provide an API key to use it. And you can also use it with the API, which provides loads of options, like setting the number of pages you want searched, the max number of excerpts you want from each page, the different types, specific repos, specific sources if you're getting information just from documentation, licenses, star counts, if the repo has been archived or forked. And you can also trigger this skills value, which only returns information from agent skill directories. So that's a quick overview of the Firecrawl Developer Index, the best way to get code-specific search results. But if you're not a developer, there's also the Firecrawl Research Index for scientific and engineering research, containing over 40 million paper abstracts from trusted academic sources. And if you do choose to sign up to Firecrawl, you can use this code to get 500 extra credits. And while we're on the topic of search, the Firecrawl web search endpoint has had a massive upgrade recently, making it faster and more token efficient than it was before, and you can learn all about that in the next video.